Hello, this is Father Brian, and we are looking at the current reality report for the Beacons of Light. Remember, the Beacons of Light is the pastoral plan of moving forward with the Archdiocese, and how do we serve the people of God here in this third century of the Archdiocese. So this will be the same presentation that was given at the town hall meetings these past few weeks, and what we'll do is then give we'll also walk through all the data and information. Most of the data you're going to be getting today is maps and charts and stuff like that. So it's not a lot of writing. There's a little bit, but not a lot of text on the screen. But it'll just be kind of walking through all of this. And so and at the end we're going to have this is like, what does this mean for us moving forward? All right, so if you look here, we see in the fall of 2020, if you can see where my mouse cursor is, we see that in fall 2020, the Archbishop had announced Beacons of Light, and then they started gathering data. So what that meant is back in around November, December, we sent down a lot of information in terms of like a lot of number stuff, like the October counts, sacraments, all those things over the past 10 years or so. And in doing so, the partner strategy group we see right here is the one that analyzes data, is a third-party group that does this for dioceses. And then in April, the process design began. So by beginning of June, all the priests of the diocese met, and we had the full current reality report that was given to us. And so right now, all that we know is this current reality report, and also in terms of when we start here, the parish modeling. So what we don't know is what that is. So we're not given that information as of yet. All we're given is the current reality report. So at the end of September, all the pastors will have a presentation where we will look at the current reality. We will look at the map of the families of parishes, and in doing so, so as of right now, what we do know is that there is we're going from about 200 parishes, and this is the next slide, down in about 109 regions. We'll be moving down to 60 families of parishes, and which also might change what the deaneries will look like too. Deaneries are a collection of the parishes. We're Dayton South Deanery right now. So but then in October, the presentation there'll be a presentation on the website to all the people of the Archdiocese. It'll be on the website Beacons of Light. So when you walk into our gathering space, you'll see a poster, and the poster has a website, has a QR code where it will take you right to that website. You sign up. So in October, you'll actually be given what the families of parishes will be, and you can give your feedback as well. So it's very, very important. So then that means in the spring, or then they'll have pilot parishes, which we're not a pilot. And then July 1st, 2022 is when the rollout begins for families of parishes. So that's the timeline right now. So we see here now is, we have 212 parishes, 160,000 registered Catholic households, 111 Catholic schools, 24 high schools, 87 Cat 8 schools. And then we have 160 active priests, where 29 of them are from orders. 127 are the archdiocesan priests. The next term priests are those who are from a different country. All right, so we're starting to look at the data in terms of the population. So you're going to see this is total population. So this is census records, government census records, to show the total population of the area. So this line here is Dayton South Deanery, where we are in. Right here is our parish. St. Francis of Assisi is right here. Okay, so always keep your eye on this bottom right-hand corner to see what it is. So, and then the darker shaded colors are the more densely populated area. So we have, you see, there's a more densely populated area here and within our parish boundary over here as well. So yeah, so this is, Park Central. This is now Bellbrook, Greene County, Sugar Creek Township, all in this area right here. Okay. All right. So this is on the way to Xenia right here. So now what they're going to do is they're going to show you 5-year projections of total population, and then break down into white population, person of color population, and then finally Hispanic population. And persons of color are those who are, in terms of the government census data, are those who are not white or Hispanic. All right. So you'll see here then is that the total population change is going to be a raise of population in this area of at least like 2.5 to over 10% population change. And this right here generally is the Greene County line. Okay. So we're seeing a total population change here over the next 5 years. That's projected. Okay. Now, look at white population. Again, right here, the more densely populated area. Okay. And then in the 5-year projection is going to be anywhere between the almost staying the same to a 10% growth in the white population. Okay. Now, persons of color. Persons of color are those who are not white or Hispanic. Okay. So again, so this is the population. So the densely populated, right here. Okay, for persons of color. And over the next 5-year projection, we're going to see projected a 10 to roughly 20% raise in the person of color population within our area of the Dayton area. Okay. And then finally, in terms of Hispanic population, right now, we look at the darker shaded colors are the more densely populated. Okay. And then we look at the change over the next 5 years. So we're looking at a 20 to 30% change of the population, of Hispanic population within this area. Okay. So I know someone's asked the question, why does it break it down this way? This is the government census data that the Partners Edge was able to get, and you can pay for when you look at these type of things. So that it wasn't our categories, it was the census data categories. All right. So now we're going to look at the ages of population. So 65 and older. So again, darker shade of colors is the population, if you will, in terms of the higher population, in terms of 65 and older. And then the percent change is will be roughly around, a no change to about 20% change of growth in terms of the those who are 65 and older. Okay. And then we look at the millennial population. Okay, millennials. If you look at age ranges, so the oldest millennial age is they're turning 40 this year. Okay, and this is the whole Archdiocese right now. Okay, this is Dayton South here, and this is the percent change over the next. So this is now the millennial population. Excuse me, in Dayton. So we have again more densely populated, the darker shade of color. And then percent change over the next 5 years, we're looking at a 5 to over 10% change of millennial population within this area. Okay. All right. The question is, and then the median household income is, in this area, it's anywhere from about, 65,000 to over 125,000 median household income in general, and then percent change is a raise of about 5 to 10% in that. over the next 5 years. Okay. Now, what does this mean? And so one of the things that they showed, which I didn't put in this here, is that, we have a flat to declining birth rates within this area, which is actually the trend, but also in terms of not just the trend, but it's actually better than in some parts of the country. So, and then our retiring boomers, their giving and liturgy attendance are the source of stability and will diminish. However, are the healthiest, most educated, wealthiest group retirees seen at the parish level. Okay. And the millennials are the ones that will be the future. That makes sense. Young families, how we can find ways to welcome, integrate, and engage young families and adults moving into their 40s. So and we also see that there's a very the population change too is one that we can also learn how to engage what those population changes are going to be as well. Okay. And then the number of households. So we have, all right, so this is the registered Catholic households within the Archdiocese. So as of 2020, we have about 160,000. Okay. And which is down from about 168,000 10 years ago. Okay. And I know this is moving kind of quick, but I'm trying to keep this video as short as possible too. So yeah, so then, and this in terms of mass attendance, and then how much of our facilities are being used. So what we're seeing here is that that 37. So we have about 30% mass attendance of all of the whole Archdiocese, which means that if you look at all of our buildings, all of our churches, and you look at all the spaces, like how in terms of how many people can fit in the space, how many people are attending, we're using 37% of the buildings in terms of space in our churches. Okay. And then so we're at about 37% capacity in terms of mass attendance within our churches. So that's if you take all the churches, what their capacity is, and then you look at how many people are attending mass, and it means that of the churches, they are 37% full across the whole Archdiocese. And that's an average across the whole Archdiocese. Okay. Now, this one is here just for your own edification. This is the online watching of masses during 2019 and 2020. So April would have been Easter, so we had 96,000 people watching from home because of of not being able to have people in our churches. And then by November we were down to about 29,000. Okay. And then our sacraments. Okay, so the easy one to look at first, yellow, are funerals. So funerals have pretty much stayed the same over these past 9 years. They didn't add 2020 in because of the pandemic. Now we see weddings. Weddings have went from 1954 weddings in 2010 to 1,409. So we're doing 500 less. We did 500 less weddings in 2019 than 2010. Okay. And then also we look here too. Green is confirmations. So in 2010 we did 7,000 confirmations, and then in 2019 we did 5,500 confirmations. Okay. But also we need to look at too is that red is first communions, and that's a steady decline as well. But if we go back 6 years, because that's when this class would have been getting their first communion. Back in 2013, we see that there were 6,400 who received their first communion. And then of that 6,400, 5,500 of them received their confirmation. So we see a decline in that class of who received confirmation along with their first communion. And there's a lot of different factors there too, in terms of moving out, moving different place, all these type of things. So there is we could answer it a couple different ways, but But we are seeing a decline in the number of sacraments, which kind of sees the same as the percent change in the of people attending Mass as well. Okay. And then also in terms of like, in terms of how many of Sunday collections, the average across the whole Archdiocese is about $520,000. We're about right here. We get about 1.2 million. We're about right here. Okay. Okay. Now we're looking at the ages of priests in the pastors in the Archdiocese. So, as of right now, in terms of ages of our pastors, 20 of our pastors could retire today if they wanted to. They're over 70 years old. 70 is the retirement age. Okay? And then 38 more of them could retire in the next 1 to 10 years. So that's, 20? That's 58 of the pastors could retire within the next the next 10 years. Okay? And we have 25 pastors who are 49 and younger. And then 27 who are in their 50s. So what they're telling us is that we are relying a lot on pastors who can retire, who are close to retiring. Okay? And then so what this tells us is this. If you look at the darkly shaded here, that we would not be able to support more than 60 to 65 pastor assignments over the next 10 years. And then a pastor of a single parish will be an anomaly. So what it means is that a standalone parish will be the rarity, and then almost all the parishes will be in a family of parish. Okay? So over the next 10 years, what that means is we need to look at vocations, not just the priesthood, for healthy church life vocations, for priesthood, for religious life, for married life, consecrated single life. All those need to be fostered within our Archdiocese, especially this parish. Okay? All right. So the why of why we're doing this, why it needs to be done, is the number of available priests is increasingly declining due to aging and retirements. Okay? It means we're depending upon early assignments of parochial vicars as pastors, and then future ordinations, and then orders, all of which, this is not what we want. The number of priests cannot effectively serve the number of parishes at this time or in the future. And then we're dependent upon priests over 70 who are still serving a full-time parish ministry. So the good thing is that we manage, the debts are being managed effectively. And then most parishes have financial stability and management of the expenses. So our Catholic schools conditions and are it's kind of, they vary greatly, and then a lot of schools are getting smaller. So and this is what we're reminding ourselves that we need to make sure we follow things properly within this. So this is the current reality report for the Archdiocese. The question is, what does it mean for us moving forward? First and foremost, it means go to that website. When you see those posters as you walk into gathering space, go there and sign up for the website, because that is going to be very important for you, especially in October, to give your feedback. So, secondly, we don't know what the family of parishes are going to look like just yet. In September and October, we'll be getting proposals, and those proposals will then have a feedback and recommendations. So when that comes around, remember, recommendations are constructive. So if we tell someone we hate this idea, we think it's bad and stupid, they're just going to say, thank you very much for your comment, and then keep on moving. So it's got to be like give a good constructive thing. And then finally, remember that's we're looking at the current reality and what is being met in this current reality. So this is where we're at right now. And in September, the pastors will have their have a presentation, and then in October, there will be a on the website of for the Beacons of Light for anybody to go in and give their feedback, and then in November, it'll be set, and then it will be announced of what will be moving forward July 1st of next year. So thank you very, very much. God bless you, and I hope you have a great day.